Okay, for today's video, we are starting a brand new series, the Skylanders Spyro's Adventure Randomizer Nuzlocke 2. So, this is a series we have sort of already done before, but this is going to be a brand new version of this series with some minor updates and improvements. And this will be like the first of another set of 4 locks where the 8 Skylanders used in this lock will not appear in the next 3, and then so on and so forth, till we eventually, have a remaining 8 that will be used in a final lock. So, for the rules and changes, so the rules for this Nuzlocke are pretty much the same as the previous Randomizer Nuzlockes I've done. In Spyro's Adventure being no hats. I don't think they look good, and I know they give a slight competitive advantage, so not using them I think is a win. No variant Skylanders, I feel like that kind of alters a little bit, and there's supposed to be maybe a little bit better stat-wise. I just did the Legendary Lock, though, and I didn't notice much of a difference, maybe slightly. No switching Skylanders once a chapter begins unless the Skylander is defeated. I feel like if you allowed this rule in a Nuzlocke, you could easily just switch every time you got even kind of close to getting knocked out, that it just wouldn't even be worth it. And then the basic Nuzlocke rules of once a Skylander is defeated, they can't be used again in the rest of this playthrough. So, say we have Spyro. Spyro gets, in the Chaos Boss fight, literally about to knock out Chaos, but he gets knocked out right before knocking out Chaos. Spyro would be knocked out and couldn't be used again in, well, if we had chapters left, which we will, because if we make it through the original, like the main storyline, we do the adventure packs at the end. So, we would have to put somebody else on the portal to do the final blow in that case. So, also we do randomize getting new Skylanders throughout this lock. So, at certain points in the game, it had been every 3 chapters, I believe, we would get a new Skylander, and how this works is we do a randomizer, and we did do it every 3 chapters, and at the end of those 3 chapters, we would get a new Skylander, and we just kept doing that until we had 8 total Skylanders, 1 of each element. So pretty much, say you got Fire, if you got Flameslinger, you couldn't get Sunburn later in this lock, for example. So we would just keep doing that until we had 1 of each of the 8 Skylanders, the elements. So now the only major change in this lock compared to the previous locks is that I'm changing the frequency in which we get new Skylanders. For the original 4 Randomizer Nuzlockes, it was every 3 chapters. But I'm now changing this to every 2 chapters. So we will get a Skylander at the end of every video until we have unlocked 1 of each element. Because we normally do 2 chapters per video. So we would get like a Skylander like every other video. But we're changing this for a few reasons. That most Skylanders I would end up getting later in the locks, like the 7th or 8th Skylander, would not get as much screen/playtime and only be able to be used in the harder chapters where they would do much worse than they really should have, because I just wasn't as comfortable with them yet. So I really feel like it was unfair to judge them based off that, because I just wasn't as comfortable with them yet, and literally just getting thrown right into some of the hardest chapters, I really felt like that just wasn't fair. And I wanted to get to play with them more, so I just thought it didn't really seem fair to those Skylanders we got at the end of the chapters. And I think it makes it more fun at the beginning because, we just get to use more Skylanders. So I think it evens out really well. And also, the stakes just get higher at the end, so I think you don't need I think it balances out, because you get the fun of new Skylanders at the beginning, and then you get the risk of losing Skylanders at the end. So I think it balances out really well. So yeah, like I was saying, this gives you something to look forward to at the end of each of the earlier videos, but then at the end, obviously, there's such a big stake of losing Skylanders, I think it balances out the excitement more throughout the total series. So, this series, in theory, should simply be an improved version of the original Skylanders Spyro's Adventure Randomizer Lock series, since the video quality for that original series was just not it. I just didn't know what I was doing as much, and a lot of the earlier videos, you could barely hear me talking, and then just the video quality wasn't as good. And we've solved most of that now. It's a lot better than it was, so hopefully that continues. And my skill level should at least be a little improved, hopefully. So hopefully we shouldn't have at least any logs where we completely wipe out and don't even get past Chaos. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, though. And there's just some other minor improvements, like I said, the Skylander every 2 chapters, which I think will make a very big improvement to this overall series. So now, why are we doing a series 2 of this? There's actually a lot of reasons why I think we should do this. I had so much fun with the first series of Spyro's Adventure Randomizer locks, but we never completed my goal of winning a lock without losing a Skylander. And I believe my best attempt so far, we only had like exactly half of our Skylanders make it. So I think we had like 4 of 8 in 2 of the Locke attempts. But I really want to do a perfect Locke where we have all 8 Skylanders make it out. That might be wishful thinking, but I would at least like to have a record better than the previous attempt. So if we could even get 5 of 8, I would feel really good. And I'm recording this really recently after the Spyro's, like the last video I recorded it yesterday, was the Spyro's Adventure tier list. So I'm hoping some of the Skylanders that like I was on the fringe of in that video can jump up or go down, you know, just have a more like comfortable feeling place. Because like there was a one tier, I think it was C, where I had a bunch of Skylanders that just I wasn't as sure about. For one, I think just some of them I think really should have just been in C, but then some were just ones that I feel like I didn't get to use as much and maybe should have been higher or lower. I don't know. So I feel like this should be a really good spot. And then also, at the time I'm recording this, the end of the 4th series in the randomizer, so the remaining randomizer Locke, that video's been up for about a week, and then the first video in the legendary Locke should be coming up really soon. So I think this is a really good time to start this series. Also, I don't think any of the other series I'd kind of been planning or considering really makes sense at this time. Like, I really want to do like a solo run where we use one Skylander and just do all the chapters. It wouldn't really be a Nuzlocke, we just replay chapters we lost, like that type of thing. But I really think that would be a really fun series to stream eventually, so if that's anything you all would be interested in, I'd like to gain more subscribers in, because I don't want to stream and have like 0 people watching. So, you know, that's something I would like to consider. And I would, if we do that, that would be something I'd way rather do in the summer, where I can do it like consistently, maybe like once a day or like once every few days. So that's something I'm really considering. And then the other big series I've been considering was doing a Giants Randomizer Locke, but I'm still lacking some of the figures and still not even sure exactly how I want to do that Locke, so just can't really do that yet. And then the other larger series I was considering was a 100% save file attempt of Spyro's Adventure, but I honestly just don't really want to do that at the current moment. There's other stuff I kind of want to do before that, and just this series I would rather do before that, so that's just kind of being pushed to do. I really want to do that eventually, but just not right in this current moment. And there's some other series I've talked about that I do want to do, but just not in this current moment. So now, into this Locke, we will start, we'll get our starter. So one note, if you are unfamiliar with these series, this is the one time I actually do have somewhat of a choice in this series. We randomize 3 starter options, and I get to pick, and then after this, every Skylander we get, I have no say in. It's literally, we just get one. But the only thing is, it can't be an element we've already unlocked. So for example, if we choose Spyro as our starter, we can't get like Wrecking Ball later in this Locke. So that's just an example. And this portion is very similar to a Pokemon Randomizer Nuzlocke. It takes heavy inspiration from those series, as I love the Skylanders games, and I love like watching Pokemon Randomizer Nuzlocke. I've actually never done one. I've done a lot of Pokemon playthroughs and stuff, but just never done a Randomizer Nuzlocke. So this was kind of, I thought, was going to be the perfect series to start with this channel, and I've had so much fun doing this on this channel, and a lot of you all have seemed to enjoy it, so I want to do another one. So, with that Pokemon inspiration, I literally have another channel where I do Pokemon stuff, so I really love this combination of ideas. So yeah, so now we will finally see our starter options, and now the Locke will start to really begin. Okay, I'm so excited to be back on this randomizer. As you all can see by the dates of the last time I've used some of these randomizer elements, it has been a while. And I have really no motivation why, you know, I would want to, like, change it. Well, okay, so actually it's more realistically like 167 days ago, because the last Locke we did, we didn't have to randomize the Skylanders themselves. We just had to randomize the elements because we only had 8 left. But yeah, so we're going to randomize 3 elements and then the 3 starter options. The only reason we will possibly cut this is sometimes this app I'm using sometimes has ads that pop up. And if it has an ad, we will cut it. But yeah, let's see our starter options right now. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, Tech is a really good start. There's a Skylander I think is like a S tier and an A tier from this element. But I also had a Skylander I considered F tier. Gameplay-wise, he's better than an F, but if you know, you know. So let's just go, we'll go ahead and just show off who that Tech element Skylander is right now. Okay. I feel good with that. Trigger Happy is actually the one I had like it's the 3rd best in this element, so that feels a really good starter option, a really solid Skylander, literally one you can get in the starter pack. We did use Legendary Trigger Happy as like our starter in the Legendary Lock, so I don't think we'll choose him, but he's definitely a fun option. But he is a really good start, because honestly I feel like Drobot would be OP as a starter, so I'm kind of happy we honestly didn't get Drobot as a starter option. Ooh, water or magic? Magic, oh my gosh, if we get all the like regular SSA. Okay, we did get an ad, but we're back. So yeah, I did say if we got magic or hopefully we don't get all the Spyro's Adventure regular starters, but yeah, we are going to randomize for magic. Magic is, I said, I think in the Perilous video, I think the most underwhelming element. Just, none of these Skylanders are really that crazy good. Spyro's solid, but, we'll see. Oh my gosh. I thought Spyro was going to be our option. Ooh. Okay, so Voodoo is an interesting one. Okay, our final option. I'll be honest, I'm probably leaning to whatever this is, no matter really what it is. Fire, I thought that was going to be Earth. Okay, Fire, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on right now where we're going. Flameslinger? We're going with Flameslinger, I think. Yeah, we're going to decide this out really quick, but I'm really heavily leaning towards Flameslinger right now. Okay, after looking over our starter options, I am going to go Flameslinger. I think he's the best choice. He's a Skylander that I really would say is probably top of A tier, so I feel really good with having him. And the other two, I just don't want to use and don't make as much sense for, I'll quickly explain. So, Legendary Trigger Happy was like the main Skylander we used throughout the whole early game. Or Legendary Trigger Happy, if I might have said the wrong Skylander, but yeah, Legendary Trigger Happy is who we used throughout the whole early game in the Legendary Lock, because of just how that lock kind of worked. So I don't really want to start another game with Trigger Happy. And then Voodoo is just not a Skylander I really enjoy using that much. So I feel like our starter, I want to be a Skylander I really enjoy using and like. And Voodoo's just lower as far as Skylanders I like. So I don't really want to start with him. And I think we might have had him as a starter or a very early Skylander in one of the later locks possibly. So I just don't really want to use him. And Flameslinger is one of my favorites. Really fun to use. Really fun to use. And I like his design, so I'm very comfortable. He might be a little too good for the early game, but he's going to be really fun to use. And he's a really good Skylander because it's been a little bit since I played, so I feel like he'll be a good Skylander to get back in the groove of playing with. So I feel really good about that. But yeah, let's get into this chapter with Flameslinger. And yeah, we'll do the first two chapters with Flameslinger, and then we will see who's joining Flameslinger. It could easily be one of these two that will be rejoining him. But yeah, let's see who it is. Okay, here we are back on Skylanders. I'm so excited. So yeah, this is the first video of the Randomizer Nuzlocke 2. I'm so excited for this. Yeah. Well, I'm pumped. I'm not gonna lie. Rex Randomizer, and we start out with a banger of a Skylander. Really hot start, literally, with Flameslinger. But yeah, so pumped. We're just gonna turn that down just a notch. Okay, we're just gonna delete, I don't even know which one of these. Obviously, we're not gonna delete the 100, but, we'll delete that one. Let's make sure that's the right one. Okay. Yeah, don't want to delete that 100%. Okay, yeah, we'll just go from the bottom. Okay, so yeah, first chapter, I'm pumped.
Now. Fire! Mine!
So yeah, we get a banger of a choice. Yeah. One of our highest coin Skylanders too, so obviously one I really like that has been used a lot. One that I remember liking when I was little, but honestly didn't remember liking as much as I did because he had like one of the highest coin counts from the get-go.
Greetings, young Portal Master. I, Eon, will help you. If you use your attack button, you can...
Oh yeah, Flameslinger's so fun to use with his run move, his shoot move, and honestly, I don't even use one of his other moves as much.
That main road was destroyed, and now the townsfolk are all trapped inside. It's very dangerous. Taking down that wall seems like it might help. Maybe that old cannon will work.
Oh, one other thing as far as this Nuzlocke, if you're not really familiar with the Nuzlocke, so we are literally just trying to beat the game. We're not trying to like get all the achievements. We're literally just trying to beat the game without losing Skylanders. So yeah, we're not trying to like get all this stuff, and we're not like trying to like fly through the chat. I mean, faster you go in theory, you know, obviously.
Skylander, aren't you? I didn't know you guys were here. We could really use your help. Can you grab that key and get us out of here?
Get the key, young
The
Portal
faster, in
Master.
theory, you know, you get through a chapter faster, less stuff to deal with, but it isn't just that, because, you know, faster you go, you also might make some stupid decisions. So yeah, we're just trying to get through each chapter without losing Skylanders. That's pretty much the main goal. And Flameslinger is a good one to try to speed through chapters, though. Having speed and range, he's just a very solid Skylander.
I'm so glad the Skylanders are here. Hope there are more of you. We have a doodle of a problem here. See, the bridge is out, and people are trapped on the other side of Turtle Gully. Gosh, I hope they're okay. Blobbers over there can't move that turtle.
I was gonna talk, but
Could you please help him?
this is honestly probably one of my least favorite chapters in the game. Like, I like have a lot of nostalgia for this chapter, and it is a nice little introductory chapter of the game. But there's so many like talking cutscenes.
By Pythagoras' theorem, you're a Skylander, aren't you? Good thing you're here. I've got a big brain, but pretty puny muscles. I could use a powerful hero such as yourself to help me move this turtle.
It
Push the turtle.
gets a lot better than this as far as them like talking and stuff in the future chapters. But it is a lot worse in this chapter specifically.
Hey down there!
And Flynn.
Name's Flynn. Hugo told me to meet you. Boy, you got here just in time. I can see what's causing this island to shatter. Come here and I'll show you. Use those bounce pads. They're super springy.
So Flynn, yeah, amazing character. I think a lot of people that played Skylander is one of their favorites. And obviously, we'll say it once we get down here. A character that a lot of people recognize from other franchises, and you know, at the time when I was little, didn't really know it, but
You again. Thank goodness.
Family Guy, obviously.
I gladly escaped this raging tornado, except these monster gates are in my way. Monsters always stake out their territory by putting up these gates. And these are particularly nasty little monsters, too.
Well,
Hungry
okay, I'll
little
talk after
zombies.
Blobbers is done.
I'll be on the safe side, thank you. It sure beats being on the choppy side, which is where you are. But don't worry, these gates will open once all of the monsters have been defeated. So all you have to do is just get rid of all of the choppies in there and everything should be just fine. Good luck.
Okay, I do have to mention the Chompies. Such a fun villain, one of my favorite like early game villains in any game. Obviously a lot of nostalgia with these, but what I was saying is with like his Flynn's voice, obviously same actor that does what's his, I don't even know his name in Family Guy, the guy in the wheelchair, I think, but I don't even know if I've actually seen one full episode of Family Guy. I've seen it a ton on like Instagram and stuff where like, you know, it's like a known thing where like Family Guy like clips are on Instagram with like some mini game below. So I've seen a ton of clips from Family Guy, but I honestly don't know if I've seen one full episode of it.
But they can only be opened by a Skylander of the same element. So like the water gate can be opened by a water Skylander, and the tech gate is, well, you know, by a tech champion. I made it totally obvious, right?
Yes. Okay. Oh, and this was another thing I was saying earlier. Yeah, I rarely feel like I use Flameslinger's other move. So yeah, he has that other move that goes up in the air. It is really fun for very certain situations, but I feel like mainly you're just going to use the run move and his straight arrow move. At least I do. I mean, like, here's an example of when you could use it. Yeah. So yeah, it works very well. It's just normally I just spam and it does the job very well. Yeah, Flameslinger is great though. He's good at he's really good at taking on like a bunch of weaker enemies, because you can just use his rangier move because it hits multiple enemies. You can use his straight arrow moves, and where they leap fire, they can knock out like multiple enemies. And also, he's like his like speed move literally just like leaves fire that obviously enemies can walk into. So, and maybe that's only on the pathway that I'm on, but yeah, he is really solid. Okay, so we rescue the villagers. Chapter 1 done. Was not cleared in under 3 minutes. A lot of cutscenes. I don't know if those really impact your like time, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna go on to the next chapter, Perilous Pastures. This one's a lot more fun, way less cutscenes,
You see
and
how I
actually
was able
more
to hit
villains.
That takes years of practice and skill. I know.
So yeah, we do this
amazing, right?
chapter. I mean, unless Flameslinger loses this chapter, which I don't think he will, obviously, but we do this chapter, and then we will actually get another Skylander, at the end of this chapter. So yeah, and this is the chapter where you do save Callie, another like fan favorite Skylanders character.
Different elemental energies. When you switch to using Skylanders of the same element in that area, they will have extra power and reap extra rewards. Skylanders of the tech element are stronger in this zone.
Sheep are, there's one cool thing with the sheep, they interact kind of funny with the fire. Yeah, they go all black and catch on fire, obviously. But their fur just does grow back. Sheep are obviously, you know, pretty big deal in Skylanders. Push these up.
You can use the portal of power to change Skylanders at any time.
Well, we actually can't because we are in a lock, but yes, you could change the Skylanders at any time. So yeah, that move does work very well, especially if you're dealing with enemies from like a longer range, because it does do a decent chunk of damage with as many arrows as there are. So it's really good for horde enemies and really good for like hitting one enemy. Yeah, and Flameslinger is so good. The fact that this move just does as much damage as it does, plus the fact that like the fire stays, so it does like build up damage. I mean, it's like, you know, a Pokemon move that does damage and then like burns afterwards, or like poisons afterwards. Obviously, I would prefer to burn just because, you know, it's fire we're using, but it's almost like if you used Flamethrower in Pokemon and landed burn. And he's got that big move, which does really solid damage too. And that move is just so fun to use. It's so satisfying just to get the big flame up. So I just love using it. Yeah, Flameslinger has one of the most fun movesets in the game. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to use him as a starter. You got the dash move, which does damage, and I just love a dash move because it makes you go faster. You've got that move, which I don't use much, but is very useful. And then just the straight arrow move is just such a solid move. The only thing Flameslinger obviously doesn't have like a move for is like straight up melee, but you can just spam his arrow move or use his dash, so I'm not too worried about that. And with the dash, you can always just get away from enemies. I would, like, Flameslinger is way more the style Skylander I would rather have. I'd way rather have a fast, rangy Skylander versus like a slow melee Skylander. Especially in a lock where staying away from enemies and not taking damage is better. Let's see, can we get that coin there? Yes. I'm not trying to get in that Watergate Eon, I'm just trying to get that coin. Okay, yeah, we'll get these coins. Yeah, not much. I mean, we don't even need the coins, obviously. Flame's probably on pace to be our first, maybe our first Skylander to max out on coins. we've got a few more enemies to deal with. I could probably, I don't know if I could have, but I probably would have been close to getting this chapter done in the speed amount. But that there at the end might have sold it. We'll see though. Okay, now let's dash over there. Okay, so we get Callie, and yeah, that's it for this first video as far as gameplay. I guess we'll see if there's a little cutscene. Okay, so that's all. Yep. Okay, so we're free to do whatever now. Yeah, so we will. Let's grab that. We will do the randomizer right now. See who's joining Flameslinger. Like I said earlier, this can be completely random. We could get Drobot. We could get Bash. We could get Boomer. We could get literally anybody right here, other than another Fire Element Skylander. We cannot get like a Ruptor. But yeah, let's see who's joining Flameslinger for this Randomizer 2. Okay, now we are going to be seeing who's joining Flameslinger on this Locke. Really excited to see. Okay. For a second, it looked like we were going to get Earth. I meant Fire again, which we couldn't have got, which would have been kind of funny. Literally a 1 in 8 chance, and we almost got the element we already have. But I'm very excited with Earth. Earth is one of my favorite elements. I think any of the Skylanders in here are really solid. I think Bash is the best, but it's kind of biased just because he's one of my favorites. But I would be really happy with any of the Skylanders we can get here. So Earth, Earth, Earth. Where is Earth? Oh, here. I will take that. Another rangier Skylander. I think I actually went down his pathway that's like worse as far as range. I don't know why I went down the pathway I did, but I am really excited to use Dino Rain though. So yeah, I think he makes for a fun addition to the team. So you all will probably be seeing Dino Rain in the next video. But yeah, that's it for this first video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'm out. Stay tuned because obviously there's going to be a lot more in this series to come.